WWE stock has been fucking booming lately. Not sure if you've noticed, but when it hit $50 per share, people were freaking out about them hitting unbelievable heights. That was $40 ago. WWE stocks are selling for $90. Oh my god. With business being as profitable as it's been lately, it goes without saying that the cream of the crop is being paid very well in fertilizer. That was a spicy metaphor. I'm D Wicket and these are the 10 highest paid wrestlers in the WWE in 2018.
Where's that camera?
Hi, Kevin.
Number 10, Kevin Owens. Perhaps the most shocking entry on this entire list. You're not going to find Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey, The Miz, or bafflingly, even No Way Jose, but KO does manage to crack the top 10 list. Thanks to nabbing the Universal Championship last year, Owens' stock has raised steadily despite his booking somewhat ironically doing the exact opposite. Despite that weird feud with Braun Strowman where he quit WWE and then returned a week later and then teamed with Braun a week after that, stupid. KO has managed to nab himself a solid $2 million contract for all his troubles that he continuously finds himself in.
So I got $35K just in royalties. And then like 11 or 12 for you. How much is it like?
Number 9, Dean Ambrose. As usual, you can expect that all three members of the Shield are going to find themselves on the annual top 10, and unfortunately, once again, the most entertaining character of those three has found himself at the bottom once again. Last year, Dean was pulling in around $2 million, but he managed to bump it up an extra $200,000 thanks to the reunion of the Shield, no doubt. It's a pretty impressive salary when you remember that Dino spent over half of 2018 on the shelf in comparison to years prior when he was working like 330 days a year. Jesus fucking goddamn Christ. Number 8, The Undertaker. Speaking of Jesus, for a man who in theory could make a single appearance every year, the Phenom is pulling in massive numbers still in 2018. Despite having only competed in 2 very underwhelming matches so far at WrestleMania against John Cena for about 2 minutes and then against Rusev at the Greatest Royal Rumble in a casket match for some fucking reason, Taker finds himself cracking the top 10 once again with $2.5 million. Surely his upcoming match against DX alongside his brother of destruction, Kane, has something to do with the amount, but for only 3 matches and a handful more of just appearances where he just shows up to say hello, followed by goodbye, that's a staggering price tag. Number 7, Seth Rollins. The most well-rounded and athletically gifted Shield member finds his way onto another year's list, once again with a sizable $2.7 million. Just like Dean, this can likely be attributed somewhat to his reunion alongside his fellow Hounds of Justice, but considering the work Rollins has done for Monday Night Raw's mid-card, his higher placement than Dean is pretty fucking justified. Between him and The Miz, the Intercontinental Championship is once again a prized possession within WWE. Re-establishing it as the work rate title no doubt has made investment in both the championship and in turn the product grow steadily, and we have his incredible in-ring work from Seth to thank for that. Also, just a small little thing, the dude wrestled for 62 minutes straight on an episode of Raw back in February. You remember that gauntlet match leading into Elimination Chamber? Yeah, he broke the record for the longest televised match performance, and he earned his $2.7 million, no fucking question. Number 6, Randall Keith Orton. Well, I mean, at least he isn't dog shit anymore. Decade-plus long veterans like Randy Orton, who have been a mainstay in the product's main event scene for multiple years, always seem to make their way onto lists like these. Thankfully, we don't have too many of them on this list, but the Viper's placement does feel a bit more lenient towards his prior WWE work than what he's doing nowadays. Sure, turning heel and going all psychotic again was absolutely the right call for his character, but Orton isn't getting paid $100K short of $3 million to pull at Jeff Hardy's earlobe with a screwdriver. Number 5, Triple H. Yeah, I mean, you had to see this one coming. To be fair, at least the game is pretty goddamn deserving of his hefty earnings nowadays. While his in-ring work is now limited, his behind-the-scenes work is arguably the best thing happening to WWE right now. No, scratch everything I just said. If you've watched a minute of NXT 205 Live or even just the Mae Young Classic, you can probably vouch that they're blowing Raw and SmackDown Live out of the fucking water in terms of quality. And guess what? Triple H is the mastermind behind each one of them. That's right, he's at the helm of all three of WWE's best products right now. Yeah, he can take home $3.2 million a year. I'm okay with that. Number 4, AJ Styles. Every single fiber of my being is so beyond fucking ecstatic that AJ Styles is on the top 5 payroll in WWE this year. I mean, he's been the WWE champion since before 2018 even started, so like obviously he's gonna rake in the big bucks, but still, it's still surreal, god damn it. While some people may be upset that the dude who's held WWE's top belt for over 300 days isn't the highest paid wrestler on the roster, come on guys, you pretty much all know who the top 3 were gonna be going into this. Let's all just be happy that in the ranking of 10 to 4, the spots that are actually up for grabs and debatable, Styles took the top spot. And again, besides $3.5 million is nothing to scoff at. Number 3, Roman Reigns. Of course, the Golden Boy has to have a top 3 spot on the list. The current Universal Champion, most beloved wrestler, maybe of all time. The big dog was pretty obviously coming in at one of the list's top positions. There's a really cool thing about being a Vince McMahon pet project. You see, due to his stubbornness, it really doesn't matter whether or not the fans like you. Roman's gonna keep getting pushed no matter what we think, and in turn, he's gonna keep taking home massive paychecks. It may be unfortunate for wrestling fans, but what's he gonna do? Turn the opportunity down? Would you seriously turn down $4.3 million just for an entire community to strongly dislike you? What are you, fucking crazy? Number 2, Brock Lesnar. What a luxurious life it must be being Brock Lesnar. Am I the only person who seriously already forgot that he spent over half of this year as the Universal Champion, the top title holder on Monday Night Raw? I mean, he defended the championship 4 times this year, maybe 5. And then he showed up as the overbooked cherry on top of Hell in a Cell's already absurd main event to kick down a door, walk up that door, and then leave a no DQ match conclusionless. And for all of those troubles, and maybe 3 or 4 other appearances on Raw, he's walking away from 2018 with $6.5 million. This is starting to get sad. And number 1,
and his name is John Cena!
John Cena. Who else? It's John fucking Cena. Who else? The dude shows up, he gets the loudest crowd reaction from televised audiences in the last decade, and then he happily walks down the ramp to 17,000 kids all wearing his stupid multicolored merch. Of course he's the highest paid wrestler in WWE today. What are you, stupid? He is the WWE. Roman Reigns may be slowly taking his position, but if you think for 1 minute that Cena isn't still going to be the poster boy every single second that he's showing his face around town, you've lost your marbles. Despite the Hollywood success, John will always know he has a happy $10 million to look forward to when he's working with Vince McMahon. Jesus fucking Christ.
You've seen a bunch of different cars on Total Bellas, and I'm kind of the curator of them all, so I wanted to show them to you one by one. This is our cruiser for the lap of luxury when it's more than just Nicole and I. This is when we take our friends and family out, we cruise in style in the Rolls-Royce Phantom.
And those are the 10 highest paid WWE wrestlers of 2018. Are you physically feeling ill after those numbers? Probably. You and I will never amount to $10 million. Let us know how these numbers affected you in the comment section down below, along with liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications to ensure that AJ Styles stays in the top 5 highest paid wrestlers when it comes to 2019.